The Grateful Dead project has come to an end. Everything is finished and wrapped up. So I'm going to make a video, one last video of walking through how exactly I did everything in 10 minutes or less. So right now the van, everything that I touched panel-wise is blocked down and sanded. It is actually getting trailered from my shop to the shop that originally did all the body work and the original paint, the blue, because there are some little touch-up areas that need sanded down and blended, and he is going to do the final disassembly of this van and do the final coat of clear on the entire van, as well as wet sand and buff it. So my job was pretty much, I wanted to get everything flat, so I blocked all the artwork down as flat as I could without going through it. And then I sanded the rest of the vehicle as much as I could to help him out, to kind of speed up his process, because sanding down a big vehicle like this and doing touch-ups and doing the last coat of clear can take a lot of time. So I wanted to help him out as much as I could and just fully sand down all the panels that I touched, and I clear coated myself. So walk you through this. Most of this is all hand done by me and only me. I did all the artwork. There are some things that I vectorized and made my own stencils, such as the lightning bolt and the lyrics inside. Those are all cut by my computer, and I just weeded them out and placed it on there and did all the paint work. And then there's some other spots on the other side of the van that I did the same exact thing, as well as these letters on the back of here are obviously stenciled and painted on. Everything pretty much else is all done by me. What I do is I use a piece of chalk and I'll draw something out, and then I'll either put a big piece of tape down, draw on top of it as well and cut it out, or I will just start airbrushing right on top of my chalk outlines. So on this side, what I'm talking about, I did the skeleton playing the guitar, all hand done in chalk. And then I just went in and freehand airbrushed everything on him, all by hand. They turned out really, really cool. And he is kind of like for me, is the best piece of this entire project, because he's pretty big, but also he is, it looks really, really cool once it's all cleared and it's actually shiny and everything. So walk you through this really quick. So with the touch of gray, every van from this era, if you know, had a nickname. So the owner wanted this van to be called Touch of Gray because it is referencing the song Touch of Gray. So that was his idea to throw this. This was one of the last things that was thrown at me to do. So that was the very last thing I did. And this was all hand drawn by me and cut out and then taped up and all that stuff and painted. And then I went and finalized it by adding a hand pinstripe and a different silver than the background silver, and shadowed it, and shaded it, and all that. It turned out really, really awesome. When this thing is cleared, obviously we're inside, but once this thing is outside and it's clear coated, this is done in a candy. This is Brandywine candy. It's a little darker than the candy apple red candy. It's a little bit darker, but it's similar. But this is going to pop outside. It's almost going to blind you. So I can't wait to see this thing completed. But that's how I did that. It's all hand done, then taped off with tape, then hand pinstriped, and then airbrushed with the shadows and all the shading, and also did some shadowing around each letter to make them bounce off the surface. That way it's not just flat. but that is the nickname of the van. Here we got the iconic symbol with the lightning bolt. 2 songs he wanted was Touch of Gray and Stella Blue. So we ghosted those in there, but we wanted to be visible because we want people to stand back here a couple feet back and be able to read it, which is, I mean, it's perfect. I ended up having to do this side twice because I ghosted it so much the first time it was harder to read, so I'm glad I redid this side because you can read it very well now, just like the blue side. So that is the symbol. And then come back here. This was a graphic that we came up with. And then I added all that, you know, all this is hand done, cut out on a big piece of tape, and then hand painted, airbrushed, and finalized with a pinstripe. Came out really nice. It's almost got like a chrome effect to it because it's all silver and blue candies. And then it's also shadowed to make it jump off the surface. And then this side is the big mural side with the palm tree taking up most of the van with the skeleton playing the guitar. Came out really good. I had an idea of just silver pinstriping the leaves on the palm tree to make them offset, and that way in the sun they kind of flop, and you can see that kind of silver flop. It's going from side to side outside. Did the same thing with the LED hand-drawn flames coming off the sun, and then you can kind of tell there's some ghosted flames in a lighter blue. And then we have the mini mural. The skull is also, the silver skull right here is also a stencilized skull that we did, but everything else is done by hand. Everything's been cut out, drawn up with chalk, you know, traced over with the pen or marker, cut out by hand and hand painted. And then we have the flying eyeball up here as well, done by hand. And it came out really nice. And then we get the mini mural inside of the big mural. We had an idea. He wanted the train, the house, and the bears. And then I threw another eyeball in there. And then the background, he wanted the Golden Gate Bridge because that's where they're from, which was a nice touch because I had some mountains back there, but I think the bridge really is a really cool thing. And then I just handed all the lake and the trees back here just off top of my head. And then there's some train tracks in here to make it look like it's coming off train tracks with the lightning bolt symbol in the front of the train. And then the house 710s where they were, you know, that was their house. So it's still there today. And I think it came out really cool. And then we have the bears. We have a pink one, an orange one, and a purple one. And this one's fishing. This one's playing a little banjo by the fire. And this one's got a little sack on the back he's carrying around. But the sky is all done in like a tie-dye. We thought a tie-dye would be really cool, so we tie-dyed it, and then the reflection in the water a little bit, you can see the colors. It's all done in candies, so it's going to really pop once it's clear-coated. And outside, all these are all candy colors, so they're going to really tie in together well, and it's going to really make this thing come to life when it's outside, because they're going to be bright. And then we got the ocean, the glow around the sun. Portion here was all hand done. And then I did a little graphic inside, just off the top of my head. I think it really tied everything together really well. And then we got the ocean. Wanted it, you know, be able to tell it was the ocean, but wanted it simple. And we did everything in grays. There was no white on this van at all. It's all done in gray tones, hence the name Touch of Gray, with just a little bit of color here and there. But that is the project, and now the owner can come pick it up, and it can go to the other guy and do all those touch-ups. That's why there's tape on here, and my part is done. This will be rolling out fall this year, so look forward to seeing it at shows here in Indiana, so keep an eye out for it.